Hello YouTubers and welcome to another edition of Garden Grower. I'm Gordon Pilcher and today I'm here to talk to you about Greensmart Pots. I've got myself some notes today because I tend to wander off and drift a bit, but anyway, I believe they're the smarter way to grow, just as the company Greensmart have as their logo. In the following 45 minutes, we'll take you through how to set the pots up and how to plant them, and then I'll be back at the end to show with some little snippets out of the booklet that Greensmart will post out there, which I also have on my Garden Grower Facebook page, which basically take you through what you can plant and the growing densities of each of these plants, each of these pots. There are two sizes of pots. It's a 40 litre and a 20 litre. The 20 litre is probably more predominantly used for growing herbs in, where the 40 litre for growing your vegetables. And we just today, you'll see what we planted. Well, I think we got 8 corn into a 40 litre pot, which is quite amazing densities.
Today we're going to show you how to assemble one of these smart pots. Basically it comes with the pot, the filler tube, some seals and a nut that goes on the inside of the filler tube and the tray. So to start off with, there's little tabs on this filler, and one of the washers has got the tabs in it and one doesn't. If you notice, it's got a bigger hole on one side than the other, so then it locates. So you put that one on, make sure it's pushed all the way in, and make sure you've got this closed, because if we just put that in like that, you're not going to get that open. So you want to make sure that's closed when you insert it through. You just simply insert that through so it's in. Take your other washer, you put it on the inside so it's pushed hard up against there. And these can be a little difficult at times to screw on just to get started. That one actually went on quite well, so we just screw that up. Now that's kind of tight, I'll grab my poly grips just to give it a nip, so then we've got a really nice tight seal so we're not going to leak any water out. Be sure not to over tighten it, just give it a nip till it's nice and tight. And that's basically how you assemble your smart pot. We've got that will open and close. We've got it so that it's not stuck behind. And we have our filler tray that holds the dirt and lets you have your water level underneath. As you can see, it's perforated with water holes for the water to wick up through. On the outside there's 3, and if you look at the bottom there's 6 holes, but they're basically just supports for the center of it so it doesn't bow and flex. And when you put your dirt in, you want to pack your dirt down into these holes so that the dirt will come down to the bottom and draw the water up and cause a wicking action, and that just basically drops in the middle, and then from there you can put it wherever you want and make sure it's level, and chuck your dirt in and fill your water up. We'll just go, these are the small pots that we've just done. If we go over to the large pot, which I've got here, the large pots come with a propagation bag. The small pots don't seem to. So you basically just put that over the top, and then you can grow from seed out of these large pots. And that's pretty much the installation on fitting all the tap fittings and everything like that, or fillers, onto these smart pots. And if you see here, it's got your water level as well. So when you fill it up, you can see how much water you've actually got inside your pot. And I've gone through and I've already actually leveled these, but you want to make sure that they're level running this way and level running that way as well when you put them in for your water level, so that you're going to have a constant level all the way across for your wicking action. And when you fill it, you're not going to sort of have more water at one end than the other end, because they've got little perforations on the side for the water to run out so it doesn't overfill. So I've leveled these two, and we've got two just down the back there behind the wheelbarrow at the moment, and I just use two different length levels. I recommend getting a level. You could just fill the bottom of the pot with water and then say put, you know, a centimetre of water in the bottom and make sure that you've got a centimetre across the bottom, but I honestly prefer a level. They're not that expensive to buy. If you're going to plan on putting in a few pots, it will be a good investment. Now I'm going to empty my bags into the mixer, into my wheelbarrow. Just have to get my knife out, which I've left up on the patio, so I'll be back in 1 second. Gonna, yeah, open my large bag. Move this over closer to my pots.
Don't forget about the gloves.
At the moment, like, this is just potty mix, so you could play with it but you'd want to wash your hands, so you're going to want really gloves to protect it, because there's all sorts of like manure and stuff in there, so you don't want to get sick or anything. So I've got gloves, which were in my pockets. Again, I left on the patio. And these are the gloves I'm using. They're just ordinary gloves, but they're reasonably good quality, just to protect your hands. You might look silly with a face mask, but it's better to look silly than get sick. I'll take this and throw it in and spread it round, and you want to get it down in the little holes and poke it down. You can either use your fingers, or I've just got a little offcut here of a bit of reinforcing steel, or you could use a stick or whatever, just to poke and make sure that they nicely fill all the way down. No, it goes in the top half. We'll just cover the bottom with about an inch or so of dirt, potty mix. And you want to push this bottom part down so it's tight. And then you might be wondering why I just tipped the bag into the wheelbarrow. That's because I'm going to add some vermiculite and perlite into this dirt now, so it gives it a bit of aeration and helps it wick up and just makes the plants grow better. So I've got perlite here. That's perlite. Vermiculite. I always get the two confused. One's brown, one's white. So I'll throw a few handfuls in and then mix it all about. So I've got a reasonable quantity of dirt here, or potty mix. I keep calling it dirt, but it's not really dirt. It just looks like dirt to me. And we just want to mix this through. Yeah. I've got to add granules, but I'm going to get this part mixed through first. So then I've got a sort of even consistency through. And this is just going to help keep lock the moisture into the soil. Throw a little bit more of each in there just so I've got a nice because you want to be able to see it sort of evenly through. At the moment it's still hard to see it, like it's not sort of a pepperish look. I mean, if you wanted, if you got a concrete mixer, you could just mix it all up in a concrete mixer. I have one, but most people don't, so I figured I'd show you how to do it by hand. Normally I just throw all this in the concrete mixer and let it do its thing. Now I've got that mixed through and it's nice and sort of consistent all the way through. I've got these 5-in-1 pellets just to boost the nutrients. This is the main reason why I'm wearing the face mask and gloves, because this stuff could make you quite sick if you're not that careful. So tip some of that in there and mix all that through as well. You don't need to put a lot in there. I probably tipped about 2 cups in, and that's about a cup for each. And that's just basically nutrient pellets. So then we have all the nutrients and trace elements that we want for our plants to grow. Just grab the pH tester. I'm getting 5 to 6 on my pH, depending on where I'm going. So that means really I need to mix it more because I'm getting variations.
Might want a bit of lime in it too. 5 to 6.
See now, because those granules are full of the nutrients, now I'm getting 6 and 7 pHs, between 6 and 7. So I'll just throw a wee small handful of this back in just to lift it all more up to closer to my 7 and try and get it consistent. Because 7 is a neutral pH. But see, you also need to find out what you're putting in because different plants require different pH levels. So sort of find out what your plants are going to require before you start mixing your soil and target your soil to the particular plants that you're planning on putting in there. See, now I'm pretty much got a consistent 7 all the way through, so I can start adding this into my small pots now. And we pushed the first lot down so it was quite tight. This we're just going to throw in and leave reasonably loose. So there I've got those 2 pots filled and done. I'm just going to take this bag and use this bag in the bottom of them 2 and do the same thing that I did with them, just fill it so it's about 1/3 full. And these pots here I've also already leveled. And again, I've lost my knife, and I know it's down here somewhere because I haven't left. Oh yeah, it's just here. Falling down the side. Good thing someone around here's got eyes that can see. And these pots are obviously, they're a bit deeper, so we need more soil in the bottom of each of them. And again, we'll spread it out and make sure it's down into all the holes so that it will wick properly. Put too much dirt in one pot, not enough in the other, so I'll just balance them out.
You can use some of the feathers there.
Now I've got those 2 with the bottom 1/3 packed down nice and tight. Get the rest of my dirt here, or potty mix with all my vermiculite and everything else mixed through. See, I'm not really packing it down, I'm just getting it nice and level, so I'm not really putting that much downwards pressure on, I'm just leveling it off. And I'm a little bit short of dirt on filling up that second one, so I'll just mix up another small bag. This is just 5-in-1 organic. Well, it contains blood and blown, cow manure, sheep manure, fowl manure and mushroom compost. Which is where our other one was just your standard sort of more base base potty mix. So we probably won't need to add our 5-in-1 here to this because it's already got all of this sort of stuff in it. But we will still need to add our vermiculite and perlite. And then again, give it a good mix through. And this also has worm castings and stuff in it, so this is probably a better potty mix than the first one that we had bought. But it just depends on what you can get when you go shopping, what they have in stock. So sometimes you can get a really good potty mix if it's in stock. Other times you got to get a base potty mix and then add to it. And you can get the same result pretty much. So again, mix it through till it's got sort of a peppery look. Just check our pH again. See, this is giving me a nice consistent pH of about 7, just fractionally under. But it's above 6, just fractionally below 7 it was. because I made up more than I need. I'm just topping out all my pots, just throw a little bit more in, just so I don't have all this dirt left in, or potty mix left in my wheelbarrow. So when I mow my lawn, I'll have nowhere to put my grass clippings. And that's our pots all filled up with the soil, or potty mix, dirt, vermiculite, whatever you want to call it. I'm not that smart, so it all seems pretty much the same to me. But there is a difference.
I'll explain it later.
Now I need to go through and prime them from the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water them. I'm going to fill up my water can, obviously.
Yeah, put your plants in first.
And fill up this part and get my plants and everything in. So I'm going to disappear for a minute and go get all my water and everything and plants organised, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, now we're going to put our plants in. I'm going to start with my Chinese cabbage.
Asian. Chinese or Asian.
No, it says Chinese. These are looking a little bit wilted because I've had them sitting in the shed for about 3 weeks because I had to wait to get the pot, so. But they should take off and just work marvellously once they're in here. I had them under a little sort of grow light thing, but I don't think the light was really suited for this sort of plant.
All the brown ones, don't worry about that one.
Unfortunately, wearing gloves, it does make it a touch harder to get your plants out sometimes, but you're better off being safe and getting sick. Or than getting sick, I should say. Not safe and get sick. Now I've got some French beans going in. You can put up to 15 in one of these pots. How many I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 9 in there so far. I can get 8 sweet corn in here, but So you got to be gentle when trying to separate them because you don't want to rip the root structures off the bottom of them. Then we got 8 sweet corn. Just give them a... And this is the only time you really water from the top. The rest of the time you're filling on your fill holes. And that basically, the reason why we only water from the top the first time is so that it primes the little channels that we're running down that we pack the dirt into, because you need to sort of get the wicking process started and get the soil and root structure to start pulling the water up. See, if you only just put the water We're basically going to keep filling this until we get water running out of these holes here. It started to run out the holes at the bottom. And go on to the next pot. And it's only the first time that you do it to fill them up till they come out the bottom. But you sort of need to pour your water in slowly. You can't just tip it all in one go. You got to let the water sort of soak through the dirt a bit. Like that there is still going to keep, so you can see it running out as the water's coming down through it. It's going to anything that's overfilled will run out. Like you can see over here, we've got water running out. So basically we just continue the process and then do all the pots. And like these ones here are all done, so we just check our water level on them and top them up. But whenever you top them up through here. But be careful if you're using a hose that you don't have too much water pressure, or else you create an air cavity in there and you'll get water running out the sides, but your water level is not actually that high because you're forcing the water to the back edge of the pot. So you're probably better off using a water can or have your tap turned down quite low. You don't need a lot of pressure. I mean, if you had a water tank and you've just got gravity feed, then you could just use the hose off your water tank because you don't have a lot of pressure behind it and it's just basically running out the same as if a water can. But off mains tap pressure, you don't really want to use a hose to top up your pots, or else you're going to create that air gap and push the water out and not actually get a real sense of where your water level is. So I'm going to continue doing this and let you guys get back to whatever you guys are doing.
Okay, we're back again. As you saw in the video there, if you'll be maybe wondering why I'm not doing the actual potting, because this arm's got paralysis in it, and it would take me 3 times longer to do that work, and so I really appreciate what John has done out there. A lot of work goes involved in doing a lot of that, the bits and pieces around for me, because even though I try to do as much of it as I can, it always takes me a lot longer. But if I can get it, I am capable of doing it, don't get me wrong. So if I'm capable of doing it and taking a bit longer, then most people can do it in a reasonable amount of time. Where you saw, that was 4 pots that John has just set up. And also you saw the assembly of the actual pot, and it's very important with the seals that you get the little tongues on the seal around the right way, because if they're not sitting quite right, you will get a leak there, and you don't want to damage the seal. And remember never to over tighten those, just nip them. And I don't think I can overemphasise it enough. Really try and get your pots level. You get any tilt in those little holes along the side of the pot, one side is slightly lower or one end is slightly lower, which means that your water level is your water's going to run out those holes before it's probably at the correct level. So just invest in a level, or as John says, put a centimetre of water in the pot and just measure it around the pot and make sure that it's there's sufficient water in there. Really, I don't think there's anything else I can say. I think he's covered it very well for me. And I am going to endorse these things. Greensmart say that they're a better way to grow, but I'm going to say they are the best way to grow. I haven't seen anything yet that actually is almost with the self-watering and almost down to maintenance free. That works so well. The plants that I've already got in there just flourishing away. There's some cost lettuce in there. I just can't believe how well they're growing, and I've actually taken some leaves off them. They're more like salad lettuce as opposed to like the iceberg, which is a little bit crunchy. I personally prefer the iceberg lettuce to put in a sandwich or a salad sandwich, but the other lettuces we've got in there, I'm just starting to take the odd leaf off. That's something you can do when you're growing things like lettuces. You don't have to pick the entire lettuce, just take the odd leaf off it. Because basically what you're doing is you're pruning it and causing it to grow more foliage, and it's the foliage we're eating off the lettuce. So your lettuces will last you quite a while. I mean, they've been in now, what, a month? And I think I'll probably, if I just keep pruning away at them every day, because at this time of the year it's very hot and I like a lot of salads. I think we've probably got enough there. There were 6 cost lettuces. There were 6 of each of the different types. There were 4 different varieties of lettuce there. And they've probably got enough to keep me going for a couple of months, as long as I just keep pruning away at them each day and ensuring that the nutrients, the water's up to them. As far as the water being up to them, it's only really, when I was speaking to Gerald, it's probably once a week situation, but if you're growing something like corn, which does use a lot of moisture, it does take up a lot of water, moisture, you're probably going to find you're going to be checking that every 2 to 3 days. But you've got your little, on your sight glass, you've got your little measures, you can actually see how full that, so sort of take note of what plants are absorbing more moisture, absorbing more water from wicking it up, and then just sort of keep tabs on that, mark it off on a calendar and do it, it's pretty simple. What I'm going to do when I've finished, once I've gone here, I'm just going to pop up a couple of photos of different plants. I'll try and zoom in as close as I can on them. That actually, where they give you the pH value. But all this is in the, what I'm putting up, these photos are all in the PDF file, which can be obtained from Greensmart. And you'll find their website directly below this video, and also on My Garden Grower Facebook group. I've got the PDF file, so you can actually just read through it, a lot of the stuff that I've put up. As I said, I'm no gardening guru, and but if I can grow something and it's fairly simple for me to do it, I'm really after that sort of situation, which is what most people want, And if I could save, the bottom line is it works out. You have your expense, your initial expense, and potting mix can be reused. When you're finished with it, take it out and find out what your trace elements are missing. Top those up, and you basically do that by doing your pH test. Now, I've got the one you saw John using is because I personally cannot use a test tube with only one hand, and all the litmus papers and that. So I have a little Gardenia one, I think it's called. Just a probe. It's not the most efficient type of pH tester there is, but because of only having one hand to do everything, that I've got to keep it so that when everybody's out at work, such like that, I can go down there and if I need to add something like a little bit of lime or dolomite, I can actually do it on my own. Often all I do is just sprinkle it across, and hope that it rains in the next day or two, and the potting mix, because it's constantly wicking, is always slightly moist anyway, so that is going to be drawn down into the around the roots of the plant. So it's all very, very simple and very, very easy to accomplish. So I really hope you enjoyed that video. I know it was a bit long, but I felt that it was quite important that people see how simple it is to grow your own veggies. You don't have to spend half your week's salary at the supermarkets buying your veggies. You can, for a small investment initially, and it's not a huge investment, small investment, get yourself, so I can get 2 or 3 pots, maybe 4 or 5, like I'm aiming at getting 50 or 60, maybe closer to 100, because I can see the value in it, because I know a lot of people that won't, even if they listen to what I'm saying now, but where they could grow their own, they just don't want anything to do with it. Like, for the life of me, I don't understand them. I mean, it's like we live in an age where people have money to burn. I don't cop that, but anyway, I'm not a person that wants to spend money if I don't have to, But I will buy quality, and I don't like cheap. If I'm going to buy something, it's got to be quality. And the beauty of these pots is that they are UV protected, very, very well constructed, as you saw. A lot of thought's gone into them, and the incredible part is Greensmart have a worldwide patent on these pots. And if you're living in a part of the world where you don't see them, contact Greensmart and ask if you can become a distributor or a reseller for them. There is some money to be earned there, I don't know what the money, how much, but if you talk to Greensmart, I know that they are looking for worldwide distributors. So yeah, you get your pots, you grow them and use that as your promotion, you know, and market your own little business. I know the lady here in Queensland basically started out that way. She'd seen them operating, and a lady by the name of Michele Sternberg, I can put her name below the, so if you're living in Queensland, she's probably just as easy to get the pots through, or you can order them directly from Greensmart down in Victoria. Either way, but it's up to you. But Michele was a convert. She saw them and she was so impressed with them. She said, I've got to have some of those. And then once she started growing with them, she approached Greensmart and became a distributor. And I know she sold quite a few. She received a reasonable size order just the other day, so she must be knocking them out, you know, getting good sales on them. But the idea of them is that go out and get yourself a couple, and as your friends see what you're doing, you try and encourage them to buy some. You know, it's a really what I find is that gardening, you know, just being near the soil, but don't breathe the potting mix in. Never breathe it in, because when you got potting mix that's got cow manure, sheep manure, and fowl manure and all those in it, there are spores in there that actually make it quite toxic, and you don't want to breathe it in. Always wear a face mask around it. But just trying to get this out so that I'm not sounding like it sounds that's dangerous to do. It's definitely not dangerous to do. Just make sure you wear a face mask, wash your hands, or wear gloves, and you will see the fruits of your labour. And but Greensmart have a logo that says a smart way, but I reckon personally, now that I'm seeing the results and I've actually tasted some of my produce, it's the smartest way to grow, and I'm fully endorsing their product. That's my comment on it. I'm hanging my hat on it, and I've tried other methods. You know, I've tried the aquaponics methods, and not that I'm saying they're wrong. I'm talking about something that's relatively simple to do, and I mean, no matter how you go about growing anything, you're always going to have to spend a little bit of money. If you get into hydroponics, you're up for a lot of money, just to continue it growing with chemicals, you know. So you'll always have a little bit of expense to get started, but I guarantee after 12 months you'll be thinking, why was I ever wasting my money at the supermarket? So that's my lot for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.